And this is saying happy holidays because today is a public holiday. So Barka de Salah is supposed to be today, but they said tomorrow. But regardless, it's still the same thing. So Ramadan Kareem to all the Muslim brothers and sisters, and for a successful completion of the Ramadan fast. So tomorrow is Salah. Someone was telling me that already they've already caught the ragu and other things, but well, regardless. Anyway, welcome to the program Flood Echoes on Invicta 98.9 FM, Kaduna, Nigeria. This program is sponsored by Christian Aid Nigeria, UNICEF, and ECHO. And this program is where we bring you timely information as regards disaster mitigation, especially flooding, the preparedness, and how to stay safe. My name is Job Daniel, and today we are focusing on a life-saving topic, which is early evacuation process. So when it comes to flooding, one of the biggest mistakes that lots of people make is waiting too long to leave. Sometimes it's some people would say it's typical of Nigerians that they wait till the disaster happens before they begin to think of a plan. But that's not the way it's supposed to be. And don't forget, this program is streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube on Invicta FM 98.9. The YouTube channel is at Invicta 98.9 FM online TV. My guest this afternoon that will talk about evacuation process. Why do people wait too long to leave when the flooding or any disaster happens? Why should people wait too long when they see danger? And early evacuation is not a sign of panic, but it is a smart and proactive decision that would save lives. My guest this afternoon is the Director, Education and Social Development, Chukun Local Government Area here in Kaduna State, Mrs. Ruth O. Marcus. Good afternoon, ma.
Good afternoon, sir.
I think you have to come close because you're far from the mic. Right, so good afternoon, ma.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, ma. So, let's look at what is the meaning of what is early evacuation process. What does it mean? Early evacuation, what does it mean?
Just as it implies, early evacuation is leaving where you are before the flood.
Okay, leaving where you are before the flood. So, but there are some people that have to wait till it happens before they think to leave. Why does that happen? What's the rationale behind it?
Most of the time is because they don't have where to move to.
Okay.
In a situation where there may be flood in an area, and you are a resident of that area, and you don't have anywhere to move to. People find it very difficult to start moving because when they move, where are they going to? They don't have anywhere to go to. That is why they find it difficult moving before the floods.
Moving before the floods. Okay, so I just have a couple of questions that I might just ask, and it may just help people. So, why is it so important for people to evacuate before the flood waters become so severe?
Because it reduces disaster. It reduces the risks of disaster. When you are able to move before the flood, your properties will be safe. Your life will be safe. No health issues will occur. And you will not make losses.
Okay. Okay, are you done? Okay. But now, talking about early evacuation. Now, we know that it affects families, it affects communities, it affects maybe even private, simple individuals. So, how can families and even a community, how can they prepare ahead for evacuation?
Okay, when you are in a prone flood area, there are things that you are to do to reduce the risks of the flood.
Okay.
Like cleaning of drainages, not building on waterways. Because we discovered that most people build their homes on waterways simply because the land is cheap or is affordable. So in such situation, avoid living in such area. Make sure that the dumping of refuse is done well. You don't dump it when the rain is running, because you discover that most people in the society, because they lack where to dump their refuse. It is only when it is raining that they will be bringing it out and dumping it on the waterway, and that causes a disaster. So when you learn not to do that, when you learn to throw your refuse in the right way and at the right time, it reduces the rate of flood. And when you avoid building on waterways, it will reduce. You will not even find it, because when you don't build on waterways, the water will not come into your home to affect you in any way. And there should be drainages. Make sure as you are planning your building, plan along with the drainage, so that when water comes around, it will follow the drainage and pass.
Okay, so now, what should be included in a basic emergency evacuation kit? Like, I learned that there are some kind of kits that people should have. What should those kits contain?
You say evacuation?
Yes, evacuation kits for if people want to evacuate. What is contained in? What's the basic? What should it contain?
There is rope.
Okay.
Rope.
Yes, rope. Yes.
There is jerry cans, empty jerry can, not small one, at least
the
like 25
liters
liters or 20 liters.
Okay.
There is blankets, strong one, a very strong one that you can carry people, not just a light one. It will serve like a carriage.
Carriage.
Yes,
Okay.
something you use to carry
Carry people. Okay.
and so many other things.
Yeah, yeah, but basically we should have a rope, a thick blanket to cross
to
people
move people,
over.
yes.
Okay, so how can residents identify safe routes and maybe shelters ahead of time? Because what we're asking is people should not wait till the flood or any disaster should happen. So how can they be able to identify? Okay, this if I'm running from where the flood is coming, where should they look out for and run to for safety first?
Yeah, they should check where the water is passing.
Okay.
Because when it's raining, you can know where the water is running to. So if the water is running to my left, you cannot shift to the left. Instead, you go right, so that you stay away from the waterways.
Okay, but are there kind of shelters that people should look out for?
Shelter?
Yeah, like a building.
Yeah, you go to where there is hill.
A hilly side.
A hilly side. You don't run down where the water is running to. You move upward where there is hill.
But like in some countries I've seen when I hear about mudslides, the mudslides comes down and it gets slippery. What can one do at that if your area is maybe swampy, dampy, and you're trying to go up but you slide down? So what emergency exit plan can you think of at that moment?
It's the reason why you should not allow the rain, the flood to meet you there. When there is early warning sign, you should start moving. When you know that the place is not conducive, when you know that the place will be slippery, you should move ahead of it. You don't wait for the place to be wet, so that you'll be caught up in the flood.
Now, let's look at some kind of challenges and some behaviors. Now, many people delay in evacuation. But what are the common reasons that people delay their evacuation? I know one would be, okay, I don't want to leave my property.
They don't have where to go, and they don't want to leave their property. Are afraid of being taken away by some other people. Because most of the time you find out that when you move away and leave your properties, there are people, some are good and some come in with an interior motive. Instead of assisting, they want to steal from you. from the victim again. So most people don't want to leave because they don't want to encounter any losses.
But at the detriment of their own safety as
Life, yes.
Okay. It's the program Flood Echoes on Invicta 98.9 FM, and this program is an interactive one. You have questions, you want to make contributions. The lines are open for you to ask my guests, Mrs. Ruth O. Marcus, the Director, Education and Social Development, Chukun Local Government here in Kaduna State. We're streaming on YouTube and on Facebook. You can just throw questions, or you can call the studio lines and let's interact. You ask questions as regards evacuation process. We have heard cases of people not wanting to leave or building on waterways, and just last week or this week we talked about why people should not build on waterways. People should stop buying lands close to the river. So 081 40989 070 87 800 989. It is very important to have an evacuation plan. That is what my guest is asking saying this afternoon. So, but how can we ensure that vulnerable groups are safely evacuated? When we say vulnerable groups, like persons with disabilities, elderly people, young children. So, what? How can we ensure that these set of people are evacuated safely?
When there is flood-prone area, even though at times it's discovered that the flood will just come, not like really the area is flood-prone. In situation like that, you make sure that people living with disability are being assisted by we have these people we call community managers.
Okay.
Yes, they've been trained and they are all over the I'm specific in Chukun local government.
Yeah. Which is your own,
my own area. We have these people that have been trained and they are all over in the community. So they are to assist when issue like that because they have been trained. It's not everybody that can assist during disaster. It's only people that have been trained. That is why we keep training the trainees. Whenever we receive training, we go down to the community and train others for that. But we have community CDMP in every of our communities now. Okay. And they help when there is disaster. They make sure that in the area where we have people living with disability, they help them out. They help them move out before the condition deteriorate. They don't allow them to fall victims of circumstances, but they help them out. They move them out early.
Yeah, but do you have any success story as regards this, what you just said now, based on what I'm asking, evacuating people that are vulnerable, elderly, children,
yes.
pregnant women,
yes,
and even those persons living with disabilities?
Yes, we do.
Can you share, please?
Like last year, we had training with the Christian Aid, and we did simulation in Rumi.
Okay.
And even though the flood was flash, it was not much.
Okay.
But they went and they assisted the people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
and the report came back to us appreciating the effort of the CDMP.
So it means that there's a simulation exercise that is being done to the people.
Yes.
Yeah, but how often is that exercise done? Is it when it shows that there are signs of rain in the new year, or is it before the rain comes? There's an exercise that is being, like you said, trainee. So how often is that training done, and how often does the simulation take place? In
fact, we would have started if not because of this public holiday.
Okay.
Last week, this week, Tuesday, Monday, I was privileged to be with the Honorable Chairman, Engineer Selassie Musa.
Okay.
We spoke about it, and he gave us the go-ahead to go and start the training. And if not because of the Salah public holiday that came in, and we want people to rest, that is why we've not started. But we are believing God that by next week we are starting the training.
Okay. So, so now to other area communities that are listening at this moment. So, how often do you think they should carry out this training or the simulation exercise before? God forbid, we're not praying for flood, but how often do you think it should take place?
Always. Because there are other disasters, not just the flood. There are other disasters, fire. Like in our community, last 2 weeks, one boy, he was a novice. He does not know safety, so he went in to assist 2 children that their house was on fire. He was able to bring them out, but the 3 of them died because they inhaled smoke. If he had received training, this wouldn't have happened. So he just went in with a clean mind, thinking he can help them, not knowing that it has its danger. So he just went in innocently, and he was able to bring them out unhurt, but because of the smoke they inhaled, they both died. So if he had received training, this wouldn't have happened. So we want the training often, yes.
It is very important, and just like you heard say that the training should be often, and it's very, very crucial. So don't just go there. You may go with a good intention, but you may not really know the skills on how to carry out that, which is quite important, that communities need to be involved in all of this. Now we're going to go on the side of government and other maybe other agencies like Christian Aid and other bodies that are helping. But before we continue this conversation, it's still Flood Echoes on Invicta 98.9 FM. Let's take a word from our sponsors and we'll be right back.
Idan aka yi ruwan sama kamar da bakin ƙwarya, ana iya samun ambaliya a ko'ina, amma kuna iya gujewa hakan idan kuka kasance a shirye. Ku sa ido a sama, ku saurari labarai, an samar da bayanai akan aukuwan ambaliyan ruwa. Kar ku yi watsi da alamun da kuka gani, ku yi shiri wa iyalanku a kan lokaci. Ku guje wa shiga cikin ruwan ambaliya domin ba ku san me ke cikinta ba. Kar ku tsaya jira ko jinkiri, masu rai ne za su more rayuwa a gobe. Idan ambaliya ta faru, a hanzarta barin wurin, ku bi umarnin da hukumomin gwamnati za su bayar. Ku yi tanadin abinci, ku kasance cikin shiri, ku tserewa ambaliya. Tsirarku ita ce farko, ku kare kanku. Ku tserewa ambaliya, ku kasance cikin shiri, ku yi tanadi domin aukuwar ambaliya. Wannan saƙo ne daga Christian Aid Nigeria, Legal Awareness for Nigerian Women, UNICEF tare da ECHO.
Welcome back from that commercial break, and you're still listening to the program Flood Echoes on Invicta 98.9. And my name is Job Daniel, and this program is sponsored by Christian Aid Nigeria, ECHO, and UNICEF, and is brought to you live on the multilingual station Invicta 98.9. And we're talking about early evacuation process. And my guest this afternoon is the Director, Education and Social Development, Chukun Local Government Area, Mrs. Ruth O. Marcus. And we're talking about early evacuation. So, people of Chukun Local Government, yes, you have your own here in the studio. You can call in and ask questions or make contributions so that we can keep our state or our communities free from flood. Nobody's saying that flood may not happen, but we can just control and regulate it when we take safety precautions. And early evacuation is one of them. It's not just cleaning your drainage alone, but you should also have exit plans where you should move. And just like she said, you can move, go to a hilly area, not go to where the water is gathering up and moving, because water definitely must find its way. If you block it, it must just find its way. And we've talked about so many things. Now we're going to the role of government agencies now. So, what role should government agencies play in organizing early evacuation?
Sensitization.
Okay.
When you sensitize the people, you make them know the reason why they must leave the area. You will help. But in the situation where the rain just came, It is the responsibility of the government to provide them with an alternative accommodation.
Okay.
That is the camp. Even though we don't have a well-established camp in the whole of Kaduna State, most of the time you discover the Hajj camp is being used, and in Chukun we don't have camp, but we use primary schools at times and churches to accommodate such victims.
Okay. So is that the only role that government should play? But also,
the government, after evacuating them, they provide for them, but we don't.
The shelters now.
Yes, after providing the shelter, we provide for the government provide for them their immediate needs. That is the first aid. They treat them. We provide for them toilet facilities. That is mobile toilet for their convenience, and we give them food.
Okay. All right. Then, but how can the community leaders now, talking about maybe traditional rulers, the Miongwas, Dakachis in communities, or street leaders in some kind of areas, how can they support evacuation efforts at the grassroots level? At where, like, let's say in Chukun, where you come from, so how can the community leaders, like the traditional leaders, elders in the community, youths, women, even teachers, education, since you represent the education and social development of Chukun local government, so how can all these people come together to, support the evacuation process?
I earlier on mentioned CMDP. In fact, these are a group of people from the community that have been trained by SEMA, and Christian Aid is still training them on how to carry on these responsibilities in the community. Most of them, even including the village, the local chiefs, they are aware of this because they are involved. So they are part of it already. They know it and they know what to do.
Okay. You can be part by calling 081 40989 07087 800 081 40989 07087 800 We're streaming live on Facebook. You can go on Facebook on Invicta FM 98.9. Drop your comments and drop questions, or you have contributions, you can just drop them there, or you can go to our YouTube channel at Invicta 98.9 FM online TV, and you just go drop your comments. Follow. You can also subscribe to that channel, and drop your comments there. We'll definitely pick them up, and my guest would answer the questions, or also maybe if she agrees or she has something different to say from your opinion, definitely we'll drop it there. So now, some people want to leave the responsibility for government alone, but is it only the government's responsibility to provide the maybe shelters or evacuation routes? Is it government's responsibility alone? No. So how can people in the community, how can they take the pressure of government?
And this is a collective responsibility. The government alone cannot do it. After all, who is the government? We are people. All government. We the people, the community, and everyone is the government. So I
think I have a caller. Let me hear from this person, then you continue from there. Okay, I think the caller just ended, but just go ahead.
So we are the government. We don't allow everything to be done by individuals. I say the government should do it like the local government chairman. Before the arrival of the local government chairman, maybe the damage must have been done, but whereby the community members will come out and assist when there is need. I think this can be, the danger involved can be curtailed. All right, I have a caller. Hello, good afternoon. Yeah. Your name?
Okay, I'm Pastor Joshua.
Okay, Pastor Joshua from Ungwampama. You have a question?
God who always dumps his refuse close to your.
Okay.
You keep talking and talking with you, and continue to do the same
Okay.
What do you do?
Okay, I think if I get you correctly, he's asking a question. He said that
I understand
yes,
you.
you have a neighbor who is throwing trash.
We have environmentalists in the local government. Angwampama, we've been to Angwampama last year, and even this year, and next week we'll be there too. So maybe you call us, or you give us your address. The person I'm with in the studio work in Angwampama, and he's still going to work in Angwampama. So coming to your line, we are coming to meet you and the person. It's not only you. We have people all over that are so adamant. Whatever you say, whatever you do,
They don't care.
they don't care. They don't care. And even in me as the director in the local government, when we were doing this work, one day the rain was falling heavily, and someone was at my door knocking. When I came out to open, I saw my opposite neighbor throwing refuse in the gutter after we have sensitized them. So people are very difficult. In the situation where the person refused to comply, we have mobile court.
Okay.
Yeah, we have mobile court. We can make arrests, and the person will be asked to pay a certain fine when they refuse. Yes.
Yeah, but now talking about that fine, because I think I'm of the school of thoughts. I'm just saying that if people are not punished, is it that we don't have the laws that enforces the punishment, or is it that the law is too soft on offenders like that?
There is a law. You'll be taken to court. That is why I say we have a mobile court. You just be arrested there. If the case is above the mobile court, we take you to the court.
The main court
The
itself.
main court itself, yes.
Okay. Right, 081 40,000 989 070 87 800 989. All right, Pastor Joshua, I hope you heard that. That is a mobile court, and they have an officer on ground that will be moving around Ungwampama, and they will check whatever
He
complaints
can
that you
do
have.
us well and tell us the address.
The location.
Yes.
Okay, I think you heard that. You can tell us the location, and maybe you can just send me a text message. I'll just take it out and I'll deliver it to the director here. So for others, you can call 081 40,000 989 070 87 800 989. We have more questions, and time is really moving, and I still have more questions. Now, how can residents know the right time to evacuate, especially when flood warnings are uncertain? If there's uncertainty that, okay, would flood happen or not?
The right time to evacuate, when you know that you are living in a flood-prone area, before the rain drop, you start moving.
Okay, even when you're on shore, if it's going to flood.
When you are, you know, in rainy season, like April to June,
Yeah.
the rain is less. It's not much. But July, August, at times it's August, but at times, like this year, it started in July, the flood.
That was last year or
yeah,
this year?
Last year. So when you are approaching July, you should know that the rain is going to be more
In the coming
in the coming month. When you look at what happened between the April to June, you should be able to know that the rains will be more by July or August. Then you start moving. You don't have to wait, because you cannot exactly say whether the rain will be much or it will be less. Because at times, like the forecaster,
Yes.
they say their own, but God says the final.
Yes.
You cannot wait till you are being told by the forecasters that the rain will be more. But when you study the rain from April to June, you should be able to know. You should be able to at least predict whether the rain will be more. Then you start moving. You don't wait when it is flooding.
Hello, good afternoon. Yes, good afternoon. Your name and where you calling from? All right, John Bosco from Kudenden.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sorry, I just and of my voltage. So, even water is not passing. So it becomes an issue. When we channel such problems to?
Okay. So, where do you channel such problems that he clears his own drainage, but his neighbor still leaves his own?
We have health workers, we have environmentalists in the local government. And in Kudende, we have an officer there. There are wash officers in Kudende. Please look for them and tell them. But at times, as human, we are not perfect. It will not be wrong for you if you can clear your own and clear your neighbor's own, just for your safety.
Well, but it's quite difficult.
It's difficult. Actually, it's difficult.
It's quite difficult.
Let me tell you, I'm a living example. I did it for my neighbor. My gutter is clear, but her gutter is not clear. I did it. When I brought out the date today, she came harassing me that if I know I want to do the work, I would have done it very well. Why should I put it in front of her house that I should have packed it? Because I don't want problem in my house.
Yes.
I want the water to pass. Because the way I did my landscaping, the water come throughout and pass in front of her house. So if there waterway, it will affect my house. I did it because I don't want my house to have problem.
Yeah, to have
But
issues.
she said I would have fitting, I would have clear it, not leaving anything in front of her house. So as she was ranting, I called the Meongwa. And the Meongwa came and asked her to pack the dates I put in front of her house, and she did it, and that was how it ended. I didn't fight her back. I didn't say anything. I did it because I didn't want my house to be affected. So, sir, if you don't want your house to be affected, you can do well and do it, or you do community work. You can organize community work. Do not fight them. Call them. Tell them they need to come out so that you do it together. As you do your own, your neighbor will do his own. Your other neighbor will do their own, and maybe you have better waterways without fighting.
Hello.
Yeah, what is that?
Yes, your name and where you calling from?
Yes, from Kudede.
Mr. Douglas from Kudenden. Okay, second caller from that.
What you are discussing, I'm in the house. I'm hearing this.
Okay.
You know, when I bought my land, you understand that?
Go. Go. Go.
There is a road that, you know, the British road. Yeah. So they come. The road that is stopping the 4 coaches of water of if I'm of my it's only or 2 feet to block that place. That place is supposed to be a road and they told us, but this for that time.
Okay.
Yeah. The bid on
So, Mr. Douglas,
yeah.
the front of your house or the house that
The major road. So that is supposed to
okay.
but some is
Okay.
is
Okay, I understand now.
so
Your house.
yeah,
Okay.
because of that single place that they build house on.
All right. The director will respond to that. So,
This is above the local government. He should take it to Kasobda or Ministry of Environment.
Okay.
Yeah, they are the
Okay.
right people to
Okay.
come and check whether he has built his house on the waterway. Like I earlier on said, houses should not be
Built
on the
Yeah,
waterway.
but from what he said that the
That's not
person
the
built
agency.
on a major road that
is-
leads, that for people to pass through.
pass.
But the person built there, and then when rain falls, it stops at his home.
That is it. So he should take it to Kasobda or Environmental
Okay.
Ministry of Environment.
All right, Mr. Douglas from Kudenden, if you are listening, you should go to the Ministry of Environment or go to Kasubda. They are the sole people responsible for anything that concerns buildings. So if it's deemed illegal, then it means that Kasubda will take an action as regards that. And when you were talking about forecast earlier, I just wanted to quickly ask that are the forecasts quite reliable? Can people rely on the forecasts by the agencies?
Yeah. I only say that it's just like a doctor treating somebody, knowing is going to die, but the doctor will never open their mouth and tell you that this person is going to die, because God is almighty. God makes way where there seems to be no way. So the forecasts are real, they are reliable, but God can change something.
Okay.
Yes.
So now, in your own community where you come from now, so what are the most effective ways that you communicate evacuation orders to the communities if there's an impending flood coming? What means of communication do you do? But before you answer that question, hello, good afternoon.
Hello?
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Daniel, good afternoon.
Yeah. Mr. Please.
Okay, I'm calling.
Mr. All right, Mr. Femi from Gonugora. So now, so you
Not the first time of my calling, but I always need to. So, if what if the last one, it happened to me.
okay?
But in the woman.
Okay. I believe you understand
Like
what
he
he's
dug
asking.
a gutter and somebody went and closed it.
Is that,
Yes, tell me.
okay. You said you created drainage.
Yes. Really.
And yeah.
The woman.
Okay. So what? Okay. You what needs to be done? Okay. You're so you're hello. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. He communicated to you now. What can he do?
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
Your village leader, that's me, Ongwa.
That's me. I'm going Gonugora. Yes.
We have educated them on this issue. Go back to your Ongwa and tell him what exactly is happening. He will make the woman to remove all the sand she poured there so that water can pass very well. It's as simple as anything. You don't have to fight her. Just go to the Ongwa and report to him.
Yeah, but in situations where if the person might just be adamant, so which of the authorities can he go to report to if it goes beyond?
He can
the
report to
judgment?
us. That's why I say we have mobile court. And where we cannot solve the issue, if the person is adamant, we take them to the Normal court.
Okay. 081 40,000 989 070 800 989. So now lots of people are complaining that, you create a waterway, somebody goes to block it. For whatever reasons, well, we don't know. So we're talking about communication. So how effective, what means of communication do you use to reach out to your community members? Another call has come in. Hello, good afternoon. Yeah. Can you speak up a bit? Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah. Hello, sir.
Yeah. Where you from?
I'm calling from Wampama.
Your name?
And my name is Philemon.
Philemon.
Yeah. Opinion. That's what I say. The problem is not to build lucky to Saliki about it to pursue. So that someone to me it seems like it right from the man who's his work. So we went to tell people that some people do something, but because they do something there, the road is too much. So I'm feeling that please and please, government workers for them to stop collecting crap to justice to this kind of work because they are causing problem to innocent the environment.
Okay, all right. Well, I think it will only be fair if I have a Kasuda official in the studio to be able to, whether say it's true or not. But I think there's a serious case there.
Yeah.
But I think Kasuda would be the appropriate
right
people
person to
answer
answer this,
to answer all of this. But as regards saying bribe, well, I am not there. I'm not a Kasuda worker, so I'll not hold brief for anybody. And I'll not say it's not true, and I'll not say it's a lie. But it's proper that I should, if I had someone from Kasubda, the person would address this issue. But he said that the traditional ruler did not take action, and they went to the headquarters. Action was not taken. More like something transpired, and the building is ongoing, which is posing a risk. But so in this junction now, just like I said, you will not hold brief
This
for Kasubda.
issue is above local government.
Exactly, so it's above you.
Yeah, it's
so
above local
so I'm
government.
not, you will not hold brief for Kasubda. I will not hold brief for them. But I wish I had someone from Kasubda to answer this very question.
But the traditional leader, who is the traditional leader and where is the area?
No, that's in Ngwampama.
Ngwampama way.
Okay, well, Mr.
The Hakimi.
Okay, so well, Mr. Philemon, if you can call back and tell us the area. We'll not ask you to call anybody's name, but just tell us the area. Maybe my guest would either take it up and see what can be done. So, effective means of communication. How do you communicate to people that they should evacuate quickly because flood is on the way?
We do house-to-house sensitization.
Okay.
We use the local chiefs. That is me, Ongwa.
Okay. So they use a town crier?
Yeah. As I told you, they've been trained. So if there is anything like that, when we receive the signal, we inform them so that they would start communicating with their people. Yeah.
All right. So, and for people who may not have access to...
We use radio.
Okay, just like we're using now.
Because it's the fastest way of communication. But after the radio, we still do house-to-house sensitization.
Do you go on social media too?
Yeah, social media. We use social media.
But what about places where there's no internet for social media? And then issue of language too. Would language be a barrier?
In our community, most of us, we understand Hausa. And most of our village leaders are Bagi. For those that don't understand Hausa very well, but you hardly go to a house where you will meet the
Someone-
entire people in the house that don't understand
Understand.
Hausa. So we use Hausa language most of the time.
To communicate to
Yeah.
those who cannot communicate in English too.
Yes.
Okay. It's still Flood Echoes on Invicta 98.9 FM. And I'll be speaking with the Director of Education and Social Development, Chikun Local Government Area here in Kaduna State, Mrs. Ruth O. Marcus. And we've been talking about early evacuation process. Why is it important to evacuate? And we had few calls that, complaints here and there. Pastor Joshua talked about an issue of the drainage, and John Bosco, also from Kudenda, called in. Douglas from Kudenda as well. And we had Mr. Femi from Gunungura and Mr. Philemon from Ungwampama. So, we talked about the means of communication, how to, what means of communication. She mentioned the radio, social media is there, and house-to-house sensitization is also there. And so what role do you think local leaders, but I think you've mentioned that the traditional leaders are trained, but what about the religious leaders as well, the pastors, the imams?
Together.
Okay,
They are
together.
part of us. Yes.
Okay.
You have this group that is called LMC, Local Emergency Management. Yes. The traditional leaders and the religious leaders are part of it.
So now, when there are issues of flooding and when you want to evacuate people, now I'm looking at the area of logistics and coordination. What transportation challenges usually arise when during evacuation, and how can they be addressed when it comes to issue of transportation?
When it is in an urban area, even though the last one we had was flash flood, most of the time in Chikun local government, most of the time is flash flood, where people can easily be moved out to primary school or other places. But maybe by the end of the day or after a day, the water must have gone. So we don't have difficulties in transportation.
Okay, but what about those who are in very interior places that cannot have those transportation? So what can be done?
And to God be the glory, we've not had such experience.
Okay.
Because Chikun local government is urban area. Even if you go to our villages, you discover that we are more organized. I'm
really?
not bragging. We are very
But
organized.
it sounds like bragging.
No, I'm not bragging. We are very organized. Because even before the training of Christian aids, we have this wash unit in the local government that we've been going to the interior to sensitize them on hygiene and cleanliness. And because of that, most of them are aware of this thing. They are aware of safety, how to live clean, how to stay away from things that will bring problem to them. My department as a whole, forget about the salary we are earning. We serve humanity. We are more of serving humanity, service to humanity. Whether there is money or there is no money, we still do the work.
Okay, so now in Chukwu local government, since that's where you come from now, are there designated evacuation centers, and how prepared are they to receive displaced persons during floods?
I mentioned it earlier that we don't have such places, but in case
It happens.
we go to primary schools, our facilities.
Okay.
Yeah.
But is the community thinking of creating one, or are you expecting the government to step in to help create?
Even the state government does not have any.
Oh, really?
The state government.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Earlier that the state used the Hajj camp.
Okay. So, as we wrap it up this afternoon, what's your final word to the people?
My final word to the people is that they should always be ready and they should avoid taking risks. When you know that you live in a danger-prone area, please evacuate. You must not live in an urban area that is prone to disaster. It's better you move to somewhere that is better, that you will sleep all night without tension. And make sure you clean your environment. Make sure you don't build your homes in waterways. People buy cheap plots because they want to own their houses, not mindful of what the risks may be. Please, if you must build your home, your house, look for a place that, even if it is not in the urban area, look for a place that you will not regret it. And please make sure that as you are planning your building, plan along with the waterways. Make sure that you do everything that when the rains come, it will go. It will not stop in your houses and cause calamity.
All right, so they say early evacuation is one of the most effective ways to save lives during flooding. Now, it gives people time to move safely, protect their families, and avoid unnecessary risks. Now, remember, it is always better to leave early and stay safe than to wait and be trapped. That has been the program Flood Echoes on Invicta 98.9 FM. Thank you, the director, Education and Social Development, Chikun Local Government Area, Mrs. Ruth O. Marcus. Thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome.
And my name is Job Daniel. The program makes a return next week. So stay informed, stay prepared, and don't forget, stay safe.
When the rain falls hard, anywhere can flood, but you can stay safe if you're prepared. Check the skies, hear the news. Flood alerts are there for you. Don't ignore the signs you see. Plan ahead for your family. Stay out of flood